So we're the 22nd of November, which it almost is the 22nd of November. So I should probably like do a brief recap of my horrible, shoddy memory of where we're at. There was a like professor at the university, and there was like this cafe. Professor. Yeah, visiting professor from abroad or whatever, very important figure. And they wound up dead. And we end up being seen with the gun. So we're like a university student, Ryunosuke, and this is our buddy Kazuma, who is so epic that the air just flows around him, I guess. Either that or he has an attendant with wires that is just kind of like moving around for him as he moves. But anyway, so we basically proved that we were not the only person there who could have done it. And that's this phantom lady that Kazuma's talking about. Kazuma is epic.
Excellent work. Okay, that was superb. Speaks with conviction.
My heart was in my mouth the entire time.
It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth.
Mum's spaghetti on my sweater already.
It was a grim sight. Before I knew it, it started finding inconsistencies in the testimony.
Oh.
I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer.
Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again.
Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Jezaille Brett, student from Great Britain, is she?
Yes, that was the issue. Great Britain.
Yes.
That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along.
Yes, you have, haven't you?
I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I'm sure of.
Yes, I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman. Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems.
Yeah, so this is the FBI dude, or equivalent, who was posing as a waiter and wasn't very good at it.
Did you see what happened with that?
No, I didn't see any of it. Thus with our little pea shooter. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself, then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. Just after I bent down and picked it up, bang. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry near to the kitchen.
Last thinking by the detective, he apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay.
Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area.
This is
there
Eugene.
you are. Well done, both of you.
Mikotoba. Yeah.
Oh, this gamer.
Professor Mikotoba.
Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say.
Yes, it seems you planned this from the start.
What is that, like, fluffy thing on his chest? Is it like a purse?
No, I think it's maybe just like a tie or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
It could just be a decorative, yeah. You arrange things, so I would be able to act as a lawyer in this trial.
Oh. Well, our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system even more so. Justice isn't a new concept. It's not as if that's like a modern innovation that Britain bought or whatever, like... Which is why... I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I mean, fair enough. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have been resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. So fuck Ryunosuke, I guess.
Well, it makes a difference. Lawyer or otherwise, I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life. Shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway.
What a G. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Stares at the camera.
Stares at the camera.
Me?
Front-facing.
Front-facing Mikotoba and Kazuma. Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. I murdered that motherfucker. Come to think of it, he did say the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, intimately, you might say.
Oh.
As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMA. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see.
I didn't know that before.
Anyway, you're about to go into battle. Here's my gun that I used to kill the other guy.
Kill the judge.
The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, a well-known one at that. Yes, our legal system is so underdeveloped that if you kill the judge, you get away with it.
You win.
Yeah. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible.
But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide.
Huh. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you. Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Oh, we're gonna get a gumshoe moment? Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once.
It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow before those old fossils know what's hit them.
Modern technology, motherfucker. Bang. Kazuma, we can't kill them.
What?
Thank you. Really, that would have been messy.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already have been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really gonna give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this just isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. I love the music in this, it's so good.
Yeah, I think this could be Kazuma's thing. It's pretty good.
It's so good. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial.
You contributed one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yume Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course.
Oh, well, okay, let's not get ahead of ourselves, Kazuma. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Ouchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Oh yes, because this is an international incident, the government is involved. Yeah, prostitute. Yeah, Ouchie is like, he's just a shit eater, basically. So this is us. This is Ryunosuke. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize, that's their job. It's nothing to worry about. It's highly unlikely that the good relations we've forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down over our nation's founders? Again, terribly sorry. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? This is the Supreme Court of Japan or of England. Shut up! Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy! You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in the Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Oh. Reactions. Well said, Ryunosuke. Despite the wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Jezaille Brett. Yes. I'll just keep going until we set up. Your Excellency. What a piece of garbage. Oh, look at this epic lady. So that old mate on the right there is the butler, who's actually secretly a basically FBI style detective intendant, whatever. And what a lovely delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussions take place without tea. Is that true?
Tea.
No idea.
Could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court?
Of course, my name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival.
Yes, we know all about you already.
Well, fuck me. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of.
Oh, yeah, I think I did, didn't I?
Your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman.
Okay.
Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Ryunosuke, you horn dog. No, Kazuma, you horn dog. Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Oh. This motherfucker speaks in cursive?
Yeah, it's meant to just be... I think it's meant to just depict fancy English.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What?
Cursive, cursive, cursive. A cursive, cursive, cursive. A cursive, 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 cursive. The lady says her name is Jezaille Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in UMay University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people.
Oi, bruv, yeah, you fucking, yeah. That's what I like to imagine she's saying, and he's like, oh, such a treat, such a...
Dulcet cockney tones.
Yeah.
I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
Yeah, nah, nah.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
I mean, that's an easy conflict of interest, right? Because he's clearly the one covering up things, so... Yeah, I agree, I think. You'll obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? I'm pretty sure not being intimidated by a language is not quite the same thing as understanding the language.
Oh, you've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke.
The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called La Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Cursive, 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 cursive. Cursive, cursive, cursive. She says, yes. This court could take some time.
No, she's studying here in Japan. She can't speak any Japanese.
Wait, bruv, you fucking say what, innit? I'm a fucking shank you, bruv.
You fucking what, mate?
She'd like to, apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately.
Interesting. But you're the one who engineered her escape.
I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print?
I love Ouchie's animations. They're so good. So expressive.
It's very funny. Seeing as you were, so unfortunately, present at the scene of the crime.
Old mate's steak dinner is like not even touched. What a tragedy.
Well, remember he couldn't eat it because he had the tooth done.
Oh, yeah. Why did he order a steak?
He didn't. That's the thing, right? Like, he
Oh,
couldn't eat
that's
it
true.
if he...
Yeah,
he couldn't eat it if he... I'm pretty sure we figured that out, right? Like, if you look at the court record, we had the evidence. Could it be that your resplendent eyes sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Oh yeah, what do you think? I'm fucking blind or whatever? What? Yeah. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear that the lady did witness the crime, because she shot him.
Yes.
The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Oh, she has like a peacock tail. That's cute.
Very fluffy dress.
It's very impractical, but it's
yeah.
Order in the court.
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
I believe that's just hearsay.
Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is.
Kazuma just fucking kills you. My loyalty is to the crown.
Yeah.
Huh? Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. It's going to be interesting how they do that with this.
The translation, yeah.
Yeah. Because I guess it'll have to be, like, each line will have to be, like, because you know how normally when they talk you can see their facial reaction or whatever? But because she's both hiding her face and having it relayed, I wonder how they'll do this. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Oh, they are just straight up going to relay it.
Yeah.
I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with the Dr. Wilson that day. The professor was unable to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. I love as well how the typing out sound is a different pitch for each character.
Yeah.
Like hers is a little higher pitch, and Hosanaga's lower pitch.
Slightly different, yeah.
After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. But why did no one else see a struggle then? Like,
yeah.
And why was his gun loaded as well?
It was, yeah.
Like, that's hideously irresponsible.
I mean, safety, I guess, they was poorer back then.
Well, yeah,
maybe.
That's true. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. I mean, you just literally said that someone took the professor's gun, so that's a possibility. This is a condemning testimony indeed. No. Yes, I mean, I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all.
Excellent. Objection! Quiet, you filthy wretch.
Oof, rude.
Look at you, you blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel.
Okay, ouchie.
I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
That doesn't make it right.
Still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn.
Yeah. But he's so annoying. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. Well, that's the first we're hearing of that as, like, well, that's not even formal testimony. That's just him saying it.
Yeah. Exactly. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however.
Well, even so. On the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. How the heck would you eat a steak dinner with that massive outfit?
How'd you even sit with that massive outfit?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
As you can see, there's nowhere about her person where she could conceal a fire. I can see many locations where she could conceal a firearm.
What about her dress? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
Okay, was the doctor's gun, like, fired? Or, like, was it proven to have been the gun that did a fire? Or have they not even, like, gone into the, like, forensic aspect of that?
Like, do you have it in the court record?
That's a good point. No, we don't actually. Yeah, where? Because
what is it?
Like,
what does it say about the post-mortem?
True.
Blood from a gunshot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like blood from a pectoral ballistic trauma, no exit wound, bullet
Single
not
bullet.
passed through the body. So that means the bullet is still there, which is, you know, when a gun fires, there's fouling, you know, which is, and there would be even more fouling in the past because they would have used more like black powdery mixes rather than,
and
like,
if he was
cleaner.
shot from, yeah, and if he was shot from close range, there would be a
well, there'd be fouling.
and stuff.
Yeah, because that's like, it's literally like the powder gets like ejected out the front and burnt, you know. So I think we noted that, like on the photograph of the victim, like there is fouling.
Yeah. So he was shot from close range. Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes sense. This is just a thing from watching a lot of like. My parents love watching like murder mysteries and stuff, and like a lot of the points of the drama shows of those or whatever, like your Midsummer Murders or whatever, or like the older ones, like ones from the kind of like 90s or whatever, 80s and 90s, is that you use like a lower caliber gun when you want it to not have an exit wound, because if it has an exit wound, blood sprays everywhere. So if you want to like move the body, you use like a lower caliber, like a 22 or something, or .22, rather than a heavier one, because then the bullet stays inside them, and then you can move the body and like dump it elsewhere. Or in this case, you can hide the nature, because she could have just had like a little like a stubby pistol or whatever, like one that can fit in your like in a hand or a purse. Like, which a lot of women at the time would have had that kind of equipment, and then, basically pointed it to his chest, and then go and bang, and then put the gun back. So she probably.
Yeah, sorry. Here you go.
Oh yeah. I mean, he's sitting really weird. Like he's clearly been moved. But yeah, like it's the sort of thing where it's like she could still have the gun on her, basically.
Yeah,
which I mean, he's also kind of leaning towards.
Yeah, and he's sitting on the chair, so like if it was a small gun, it may not have gone through him and the chair.
Yeah, and it may also not have killed him instantly either. Like it may have put him into shock rather than anything else. So he may not have necessarily realized that he was shot and caused like a big fuss. There are no pockets in my outfit. I'd have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. That's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove. I don't think that's really the point, mate.
Don't think about doing anything rash, Rinosuke.
But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day.
You're right about that, which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere.
And like, there's also a point where like people don't just know how to use guns. Even if you've watched a movie or whatever, like knowing how to turn off a safety or cycle a barrel or whatever, like that's not just something you can just do. You need to actually like have it in your hands, physically kind of manipulate it and understand like how it works. So if someone is just like in a moment of passion, picks up something off the ground, has never used it before, first of all, it's probably on safety. There's probably not even a bullet in the chamber, and like it's probably not cocked either.
Something that movies tend to just gloss over is that guns are really hard to use, and they have a lot of like recoil and kickback.
Yeah, exactly. And like if
in movies.
Yeah, if you've never like picked it up before, you're probably going to smack yourself in the face, or get sent halfway across the room because you didn't, brace yourself properly. But yeah, this is like it's the Agatha Christie's level of like understanding, firearms or whatever.
Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart.
Yeah, they're just focusing from the testimony angle, which is, that's perfectly fine. Oh, that sneaky smile. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Yes, Your Excellency. Cross-examination?
Yeah, just press a bunch. We don't have to fully voice all of these if we don't want to, because it's going to be a lot.
Yeah. Okay, so 2 p.m. is quite a late lunch.
You don't keep up with the latest fashions from Britain, do you? Late luncheons are en vogue, isn't that right?
That's French. That's not Britain.
No.
Oh. Rip. Decisive English.
No, there's quite a sting to it.
This is fun. The gentleman is currently working for the victim's research in the victim's research department. What was he a doctor of?
He's a medical doctor. Oh, it might even say in the court
that's
record.
Interesting.
If you go to court record.
Oh yeah, true. There's the was it
profiles?
Is the
visiting professor of
Professor of
medicine. I guess it's the kind of thing as well where, like, if you're a medical student, you'd have a pretty good idea of like where you could injure someone to kill them, basically. Especially with like a lower caliber weapon. Okay, so they had lunch every day. Interesting.
Another dang question. Victim had another appointment at the clinic. Yeah.
He was unable to eat. That was because he just had a tooth removed at Hotter Clinic. Oh, Hotter, as in like, isn't that the plastic surgeon in...
The one in the main games is Hottie.
Hottie, oh, okay.
But yeah, I think that's what they're alluding to, yeah.
That's funny. Oh, I guess she had eaten some of the steak. It looks like she took just a bite out of it, you know, like lifted it up and just hunk. It was like a curved cut. Okay, the print shows the table exactly as it was left after horrifying events. Exactly as it was left. So where was she sitting? Relevant to him, or I guess maybe was she sitting? Is a question.
I think she was supposed to be across from him.
That's right. Other than some carbonated water. Fair enough. But there wasn't a glass there. It was a wine glass, right?
Yeah, but I mean, you can support fizzy water in it.
That's true, but it was like a dark. Wait a second.
Have a look at the photo. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah,
no, that could be that could be like carbonated water. Yeah, no, fair enough. Because I thought it was like red wine or something. So it was like, because like you have like a red with steak or whatever.
Yeah,
interesting.
I mean,
I was supposed to do lunch with a glass of water each, but there was still only there was still only one glass.
Interesting to note.
Yeah.
So
where'd his glass go?
Well, there is a missing glass. So let's. Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll press onwards. What do you think, Rinosuke, about the witness's last statement? Nah. It's very meaningful, Kazuma.
Oh.
That had no like weight to it.
Yeah, hasn't got the hang of the like desk slap yet.
Yeah, that was very like wet. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. We can voice reveal.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing? Significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Yeah.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she said. Oh, her mask like changes expression.
Eyes.
That's cute. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
I'm not paying attention. What are you talking about? The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke is just getting fucking roasted.
Poor guy's on blast.
We have to press that statement. And this one as well. Like both of these are just like, what do you mean?
Yeah,
I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over to say hello. He's not getting angry with me. He's not getting angry. I wasn't directing the retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. Did not argue with the professor. I did not. That's in vain. Oh yeah, that's right. She can't. She doesn't know what the fuck is happening.
She doesn't speak Japanese.
Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. Jeez, Ouchie, stop being such a simp. Oh, Jesus.
English. Oh, dear. It's terrible English.
I wonder if the prosecution will feel this way forever or only in the presence of a beautiful woman. Jeez. Well, they can't even tell if she's a beautiful woman. She's completely covered up.
Yeah.
Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a completely straight face. I mean, like, she doesn't know what the waiter guy is saying. He could be saying anything. Unless she does understand Japanese, and this is all a ruse. Have to unravel her testimony. Anyway, it seems after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. Part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yeah, I still had some coffee to drink.
The next time you got up after that?
Was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Wait. So she does understand, maybe. Okay, I feel we should voice this one, because it's like, that's kind of important.
Yeah, the gun.
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun.
And like I said, there's no point repeating that assertion over and over.
See, he has the flat palm, you know, like he's got the technique. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side.
Nevertheless, defendant, you can't deny that when the shot rang out in the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand.
Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the
That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel. Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy.
It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours.
What nonsense.
The lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I mean, yeah, true. It's like all these people are like Hosonaga is literally a international detective important person or whatever. And
yeah, but he is Japanese though.
Like, yeah, he's still he's on the Japanese side of things, and then they're at this secret court or whatever. Like it's pretending that it's causing an international incident. It already has. Let's go cry. Well, actually, would it be this? This
the one where you can see the water. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's do that.
Hi.
That's it. That animation.
Spaced out face.
Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, that's, it's odd. It's very odd.
Hear me. What's odd is the defense's inability to express itself.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously, it's the cheers.
Cheers?
Oh no, we might have lost Nick.
Oh,
Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. I mean, he could have just drunk straight out of the bottle, or she. But
that's true. But they're refined English people.
Or he could have drunk out of the flower.
Allegedly, yeah, drunk out of the vase.
You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass pictured here.
Yeti. Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutiae? What difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
Objection!